guys, Jay back again for Weeks Wise at Fat Audio. So before we do anything else, make sure you like and subscribe. Helps my channel keep going and getting bigger. So let's get on with today. And we have a beautiful Porsche Macan GTS. So let's run through what we did. Basically, this was a big OEM Plus upgrade. So we've gone with Brax three-way fronts. So Brax Graphic GL1, GL3, GL6, obviously in stock locations in the front doors. We've got a Helix V8 in here at the moment. This car is actually getting a Helix V12, but unfortunately at the moment with everything that's going on worldwide, it's been very difficult to get our hands on one. We've done the V8 for now, and Sudesh will come back and get this fixed up later on, and we'll put the V12 in there and get the rest of the system all done. But already, this thing is silly for a completely stealth, completely stock looking system. It sounds freaking impressive for what it is. So let's go and have a look and see what we did. First, let's have a look around this thing, because I'm not gonna lie, they are very, very, very nice. But let's have a look. So let's run through what's going on in here. So obviously, like I was saying, everything's in our stock locations. So we've got our GL6s in some HDPE custom mounts to obviously adapt from the factory 8 inches that are in here. And yes, we did go from an 8-inch back to a 6.5, but the amount of output these 6.5s have is pretty silly for what they are. So they won't truly keep up with what the factory 8s were anyway, if not actually outdo them, to be honest. So yep, got them in, like I said, HDPE mounts that I've stacked up and got them in there looking just like factory. Then we've done the same thing on the mid-ranges. Again, some custom HDPE mounts just to get them back into that factory position and lock into place. So from there, we also have done our tweeters up in the dashboard in their factory locations as well. The bonus with those was we were able to just basically make up a small little Marvy board plate and get them to sit back into the factory positions with the factory grills and everything, no modifications done. So the big bonus there is obviously if time comes that he wants to sell the car, everything can all go back in and go back to factory, not a problem. So that's a win and a half. So the next cool thing, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit proud of, is our conductor location. First chance I've actually had to install a conductor, which is obviously Helix's new controller for their processors. But this time I thought, you know what? This car deserves it. Let's get a little fancy. So it was simple and neat, but as you can see, I have that controller nicely mounted up in our center console there. Follow all the factory lines and keep it looking as original as possible. And then just to add to it for a little bit of flair, let me just turn the lights on. There we go. So we've got a nice controller in its spot, obviously doing its thing. And once we get the system up and running, we can have a look at obviously it all lit up. But very happy with that one. Let's go into the boot. We'll have a look at what we did in here. Completely stealth, wouldn't know that anything's been done. And if we pop our side panel over here, we will find our factory Bose amplifier and our Helix V8 tucked away down here. So that's on a nice big aluminium bracket that obviously holds it all into place. We've allowed for the V12 as well, so when that comes, it will be close enough to bolt it in. Of course, nice and neat, nothing like some twisted pairs. So that's very neat. And of course, like I said, then that just goes back in. Try and do this with one hand. go. Beautiful. Then, aside from that, I have put the sub in the factory location. All right, so there's our little Legatia 8, and of course, I did a little video of them doing an unboxing when they first arrived, so there's a little link that'll be up in the corner there, and you can check out what it looks like behind the scenes. It's very, very, very nice sub, and got a good booty. It's got a really nice bum. What?
What I mean? It's like warm voice coil.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Huh? Jim?
It's not what it looks like. They're weird. I'm the normal one.
And that box, obviously, if you can sort of see it, extends right down. So that didn't take too long to build, but I'll throw a couple photos in there of that one coming together. So there we go. Again, like I said, all stealth. Love it. All right, so let's have a look in here. So again, like I was saying with our controller, let's fire the system up and we'll get him to do his thing. There's our conductor. Okay, it's probably not going to be too happy with the LEDs, but as you can see, it's pretty cool. So as it is now, setting 1 is our master volume. You can see the LEDs will follow us as we're doing our master volume. So then once we've done our master volume, click in once, it'll turn red, and there is our sub volume. And again, the coolest thing with these is that every single color is adjustable, every single position is adjustable. So basically it means that you can have multiple volumes, you can have multiple presets, this can control all of it, and it's all done basically through different colors. So you can, as I said, they're complete RGBs in here, so you can set any color you want for any volume or setup icon that you want. So that means that obviously you can preset it to whatever you like, whatever's going to suit the dashboard, whatever is going to be personal preference for you. Green might be your favorite color, and green might be the one that makes your subs go boom. So that might be the case. So it's a very cool function. Obviously in this car at this point in time, we are only using master volume and sub control. But when it comes back, this currently only has one preset in it at the moment for its wearing tune. But from there, when it comes back and we put the V12 in, basically that means I'm going to be able to have a separate preset and then a separate rear volume control as well as the subwoofer control. So if he gets in the car and he wants to listen to it with no one else in the car, obviously it's going to be so much better to just turn those rear speakers off and just focus on your front stage, because obviously that's where all of our nice speakers are. So that is going to be very cool. Very, very cool indeed. Now, as for setup, when we start looking at this thing, there was a little bit of stuffing around that I had to do to obviously get this all working, because these are a factory 3-way active system. So that being the case, the factory Bose amplifier is doing all the crossover points for everything that it's running. And all of our aftermarket drivers are going to have different crossover points to what our factory drivers were. What we actually need to do is take all of our factory signals, combine them all together or sum them together, then feed them through the amplifier in its virtual signal processing, and that will then give you a single full range channel or 2 single full range channels from our fronts. You can then use those 2 channels as complete full range signals to then do whatever you please and run them like you would normally. Now, the other side of this as well is the fact that this had factory EQ, like a lot of late model cars. So there was a little bit of stuffing around in getting that factory output from the original Bose amplifier nice and flat and something we can actually use. So I then went through, used our input analyzer, and basically what it meant was I had to bring up our mid-range volume as the input, a little bit more than what the tweet and the mid bass were, and that sort of leveled our signal out, and then a little bit of EQ on top of that, and I've got a pretty much bang flat signal coming into the amplifier now. So obviously once we've got a flat signal in, we can then work with our signals out, and we don't have to do as much on the output to then get it to sound nice. I hope you got all of that. I think I did, maybe. As much as I would absolutely love to show you guys a quick video of this thing actually running and playing some music, YouTube is going to knock me down for it. So, unfortunately, as much as I'd love to throw some music on right now and get you guys to have a listen to this, it's just not a thing. And unfortunately, YouTube music is terrible. So, it's not a great example for it. But you'll just have to believe me when I say this thing sounds so sweet. Like, it legitimately sounds like singers sitting on the top of the dashboard singing to you. It is amazing. The bass response, even though it is a little 8-inch in the back, you wouldn't think it'd be doing much, but it fills the cab so nicely. It's not boomy, it's not overpowering, it's not anything, it's just nice. And everyone that's gone in the car so far to have a listen to it has just said the exact same thing. You get that little funny grin on your face and you have a listen and it's just like, wow. And you look around, completely stealth. You would not know it's even been done. So that is the coolest part. So there you go. Very, very, very cool. I can't wait for Sudesh to come pick this up. I think he's going to be a little bit blown away by it, which is how we like to do things. And of course, this is only the run-in tune. I can't wait to get the V12 in there, get some rears going, maybe get a bit of differential rear happening. Oh, and if it sounds like this now, that's going to sound wicked later. So thanks for watching again, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, tell me what you think. Would you have one of these? I'd have one of these in a heartbeat. Absolutely. There's something about them. Porsche just, they do their interiors so nicely. The only thing I don't like about this car, Volkswagen clips. We've been through this before. Goddamn Volkswagen clips. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. See ya.
Action! Do we have to all be quiet now?
Yes.
We'll see. We'll see. Sup?
Because that doesn't make you look lanky at all. I couldn't do that. Oh yeah. How's your box gap now?